Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have with us some of the most well-known figures, well-known esports figures in the Middle Eastern scene. We have Hodors from Team Rush Middle East. We have the manager of Team Fate, the manager of Team NASR, and a renowned caster, Talks. The idea of this video is to let you guys know about what the people don't know about the Middle Eastern scene, and that's why we are doing this video over here. So, could you guys start off with what your general thoughts are about the scene?
The general thoughts about this scene. I believe that the Middle Eastern scene has potential to be one of the strongest scenes in the world. But the problem is we're so far behind when it comes to everything from technology to the internet connection to the sponsorships. We're a little bit left out, I could say. People don't take us seriously when they see a Middle Eastern team. They don't see us as potential to be anything. But I don't think that's true. I think we have the potential to be a top tier scene and have players that are playing in the top teams in the world. So that's what I feel.
In terms of esports, we have many players in the Middle East that are all top tier players. As you know, there's from Jordan and from Lebanon and from all over the Middle East, there's lots of players coming up and playing in the top scene now. But I think slowly we're starting to grow and more people are looking at the Middle East as a potential esports. How do you say it? Yeah.
They can see it.
And hopefully now we're starting to see some changes. There's still a lot to be done, but we're starting to see some changes now.
Yeah, I agree with these two gentlemen here. My personal opinion regarding the entire esports scene is it goes a bit beyond esports itself. It's from the gaming industry point of view. As you know, esports is just a small pillar within the bigger picture, the bigger umbrella, which is the gaming industry. The guys mentioned that we have some of the best talents. Yes, we do. You look at the top games out there. You take Dota, for example. Some of the best players in the world are Arabs, whether it's GH, Yaps, or Miracle. You look at the fighting game scene, for example. You have people like Tekken Master, Big Birds, and Angry Birds that are achieving great things internationally. In the CSGO scene, you guys have someone like Isa that is, playing with Hellraiser, and he's been MVP in almost every single game he played in the majors. So, the talent is there. The network cafes are always full. The games are always being sold. The competition is there. Even the purchase power is there. The money is there. Creating a team or finding a sponsor is also a possibility. People are trying, whether it's in Saudi or in the UAE. So the problem is not esports scene itself. The problem is the infrastructure. This region lacks the infrastructure to host an esports scene as a whole. A lot of people say yes, the scene is behind or the scene is weak. In my opinion, there's no scene at all, simply because there's no infrastructure. The gaming industry has 4 pillars. One of the main pillars is the publisher. If the publisher is not supporting the scene or a region, is not creating leagues, is not facilitating gamers to be able to play, then you already have the basic wrong. When you build a building, if you put the first floor with the wrong cement, the entire building will collapse. The publisher is the foundation of that building. It's for the publisher. The publishers need to come and start working here, and you cannot blame them as well. They have the world to look into, and it's marketing and it's sales, and you have to sell the game. It's as simple as that. You got to perfect the scene in Europe and the US. You got to perfect the scene in China with a massive population, in Southeast Asia and South America, and then you can come to the Middle East. So it's gonna come. You just have to be patient. That's it.
I think one of the issues that I've faced with the local scene here, let's talk about UAE for example, is the mentality. People still have that mentality that you're still playing games, you're still still in that mentality is to grow up, focus on your whatever job you have, forget the gaming. And this is what's causing all the kids, growing up, they're thinking, why should we waste time on gaming and sponsorship and wasting our time? Because in the end, no one will support us. I think the mentality of the maybe the older generation in the Middle East is still undeveloped, maybe let's say, or still behind. I think once we reach that idea that games out there are getting salaries, they have boot camps, they're ditching their family, they're going working, it's their job, it's their career. Once we have that mentality, I think more sponsors will be involved, government will be involved, all of that will develop the scene. We'll get, like the previous guys said, all of the points that they mentioned. I agree fully on it. Once we have all that achieved and the infrastructure and we built, like they're a younger generation now coming up, if they have that mentality, if they see that, well, we have a Dota player that's making millions and he's only 18 years old, 19 years old, and it's out of a game. So what could that mean to the younger generation if they think that? So this is slowly coming into our parents, into the people, the governments, the companies, the sponsorships, that we're trying to send them that message, you know, that this thing is not just a game, it's evolving hugely outside. So once we have that established, I think we can reach really big stages.
I also think we need more organizations to join. We need more competition. Because now there's organizations like us, what we're doing, there's a few more, but the more competition we have, the more people will look at the Middle East, the more sponsors will come. We need more movement, we need more players to come out, we need more scouts, we need to find more players. Right now, the scene is a bit, if you look at CSGO, you have a few players that are well known, but we need to start scouting the new kids also.
Any final thoughts or any messages for the audience?
The Middle East is a force to be reckoned with. There are players here that, one way or another, you're going to see them in the future. They're going to be all over the world. There are people here that I've seen who, their talent and their skill is beyond anything anybody can imagine. We have players who, right now, I'm telling you, they could play in top tier teams and they can handle themselves properly. But as the guys are saying, it's kind of difficult to play against the top players in the world and the top teams in the world when you want to connect to Europe, because there's no, as far as in Lebanon is concerned, we don't have servers in Lebanon. If you want to connect, we're playing against teams, we're on 80 ping, 90 ping, they're on 5 ping. It's a very big disadvantage, and when it comes to a game like Counter-Strike, every advantage counts. When you're playing against a guy and you shoot on your screen, you see the bullet go out and then he kills you, you're like, what the hell is this? It's holding us back in a way. You know?
He's right with especially GCC and the Levant area, our pings are really high. So even when we have players that are in GCC and players that are in Levant, when we train together or we practice together, at the end of the day you have really high pings. Or if you want to hold competitions that are for the Middle East, for the entire Middle East, it's really hard. You have to split them up and then end up having them at a LAN or whatever. But we also need that, because we can't build an Arab team with people from the Levant and people from the GCC, or at least it's really hard to do that because of the ping issue.
This is exactly what I was talking about at the beginning. It still goes beyond having, we should not be focusing or looking into playing with Europe or playing with the US. Because regardless of what happens, the ping is always going to be a disadvantage. I could have the best internet in the world and we can have the best server in the world. We'll still have this issue. It's two different continents. What needs to happen is publishers need to give the same opportunity to the Middle East that you have in Europe. We should have a league of our own that is as rewarding as any league in Europe. Because it's very simple. Anyone can create a team. It really doesn't take that much investment to make one. The reason why nobody's doing many teams is because the return of investment is minimal. The reason the return of investment is minimal is because it is not rewarding enough to compete professionally in this region. The second the publisher give us the same thing that they're giving Europe, or they're giving US, or they're giving Asia, where it is a structured league, it is, there is enough material to give where you can come out of it feeling like you've achieved something, you've been rewarded. Then you're gonna start seeing teams, clubs, governmentals, investors, right, left, and center, popping up teams, and that's when all the above comes in. Your scouts, your players, your new talents, your schools, your academies, your boot camps, so on and so forth. You're talking about a city like Dubai. Dubai has every single mega multinational brand in the world headquartered here, to the point where the airport has become a global headquarters, right? Everything is being positioned in Dubai, which means that the second there's an actual scene happening, a structure, a league, these brands will also invest behind it. You'll have the same situation and scenario you have in Europe. once that is established, everything will fall into place really. So it's not about server. We should not be playing with Europe. We should be playing with other practice with Astralis or Navi in Europe. We shouldn't be doing that. We should focus on our region once it's given to us. Yeah,
once we build ourselves, we can start looking at the rest of the world.
And it's not building. I mean, yeah, we have to build ourselves, but it's again, until there is a structure that the publisher is willing to make here, nothing's gonna happen. We can say, yeah, we're gonna move forward, but until there's an actual structure, nothing's gonna happen.
Let's speed up the process.
I just want to add one more thing also. You can say the hub of the Middle East in terms of esports and gaming and the hub of the Middle East in terms of esports and gaming is Dubai. Everything's happening here. Most of the stuff is happening here. You have Saudi Arabia coming up now, but when these things happen, we need more organizations or organizers of tournaments to come to Lebanon, to come to Jordan, to come to the Levant area, because most of the things that are happening for the GCC, and the ping plays a part in that because of qualifiers or whatever. But we need more invites, we need more movement in the rest of the Middle East, other than just the
So
GCC.
not just focusing on Dubai, but you also focus on the rest of the countries as well.
Now, also, if this could happen, if the infrastructure could change and the government could get involved, this could also help change the culture. Because the way that I see it is, in the Arab region, your parents don't say, "Oh, you're a gamer. That's great. You should become a gamer, and we're gonna support you." It's stop playing this game. There's no scene. There's nothing gonna happen for you. It's a cultural thing. And when you start playing a game, to be a good player, you should start at a younger age. And parents aren't there to support their kids because they still don't believe in this scene, in this esports career. So if they could see that there's more sponsorships, there's more events going on, there's actually a way to make money and live and enjoy your life, I feel like that could change the culture and the way people actually view esports. And I agree with the guys, but I see it that one way or another, you're gonna be watching esports in the future. Our parents are gonna be watching it, our kids are gonna be watching it, it's gonna be all over the place. Maybe not CSGO, maybe not League or Dota, but esports will be there. It's inevitable, it's gonna happen. There's nothing we can do to stop it. People are interested in it, it brings numbers, and this is the most important thing. So we just need to keep pushing ourselves and doing the best we can to make it.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.